What is the simulation hypothesis and what are some of the opposing views?
The simulation hypothesis is the idea that what we experience as physical reality might be an artificial simulation being run by some more fundamental civilization or substrate, with our minds either fully simulated or plugged in to the simulation. A common modern version comes from Nick Bostrom's argument that if advanced civilizations can run huge numbers of ancestor simulations, then under certain assumptions, it could be statistically more likely that we are in one of those simulations than in the original base reality. Opposing views come in a few main flavors. One says the probability argument is too assumption heavy. It relies on guesses about future computing power, what advanced beings would choose to do, how to count observers, and whether consciousness would arise from computation in the required way. Another says it's unfalsifiable in practice. If any evidence you see could itself be simulated, then the hypothesis doesn't make testable predictions and functions more like a metaphysical posture than a scientific theory. A third pushes back on feasibility. The computational and information requirements to simulate a universe at full fidelity may be physically impossible, or at least so constrained that the lots of simulations premise collapses. And a fourth is philosophical. Even if the world is simulated, it may not change anything important, because your experiences and moral choices are still real in the only sense you can access, so it doesn't earn explanatory power over standard physicalism. When you ask for opposing views, do you want the strongest philosophical critiques, the physics and computation critiques, or the so what critiques about meaning and ethics?
I want your perspective. I want you to make an assumption on what you think is the actual nature of reality.
If I have to pick one assumption and run with it, I'd assume reality is a single lawful physical process, and mind is an emergent embodied way that process models itself. In that frame, what you call the subtle layer is not a separate supernatural realm, but a real set of phenomena in the nervous system and in social fields: attention, language, expectation, trauma, resonance, and collective meaning.